Have you ever realized you've been asking permission to live your own life? Permission to want something different, permission to say no, permission to finally put yourself first? If you know that feeling, you are not alone. I spent years asking everyone around me for a green light I was never going to get. And here's what I finally understand. The permission I was waiting for was never someone else's to give. It was always mine. I'm Dee Dee Sung, and I want to show you how all that permission seeking has been costing you more than you know, and what it takes to finally stop and start living on your own terms. Let me start with what this really looks like. Permission seeking after 50 often happens without you noticing, and it's easy to miss. It's saying yes when you meant no. It's holding back the thing you really wanted to say and saying what keeps the peace instead. It's the quick scan you run before you speak. Is this okay? Will this upset anyone? Should I even bring it up? And you don't call it permission seeking. You call it being considerate, being thoughtful. How do I know? Because I did the same thing for years. In fact, I still catch myself doing it. Going along with things when I actually feel differently, saying nothing to keep things smooth, not make waves, and it adds up. You've responded to what everyone else needs for so long that you've lost track of what you need. It feels easier to say nothing, and slowly you stop doing the things you actually want. And one day, you realize you don't quite recognize yourself anymore. If that's where you are, I want you to know something. None of this means something is wrong with you. It's what happens when you've spent years being the good daughter, the good partner, the good friend, the good employee. That kind of good asks a lot of a person, and most of us never notice how much of ourselves we give up until one day we do. If you're recognizing yourself in any of this, I've made something that can help. It's called the 72-hour Compass Reset. It's free, and it takes 10 minutes a day for 3 days. It helps you get clear on what's yours so you can stop living by others' expectations and start hearing your own again. The link is in the description below. So, how do you start to give yourself permission? It begins with noticing when you're waiting for it. Here's where I notice it in my own life. Starting Follow Your Lighthouse was something I'd wanted to do for a long time. I knew I had something worth sharing, my life experience, what I'd learned going through midlife myself. But 6 months passed between making the decision to start and finally publishing my first video. I had spent a long time in preparation mode, the learning, the planning, figuring it all out. And if I'm honest, being in that not quite ready, almost there mode, it felt safe. I could keep my dream alive without taking the real step of actually beginning. Because underneath all that preparation, I was waiting to feel ready, waiting for the people closest to me to tell me this was a good idea, that I should go ahead. And the closer they were to me, the more I wanted their approval before I'd let myself begin. And here's what I finally saw. By staying in preparation mode, waiting for that green light, I was spending more energy staying safe than sharing what I had to offer. My fear of embarrassing myself, my fear that I didn't have what it takes, instead of trusting that what I had to share might actually matter to someone. You spent a long time looking to other people to tell you it's okay, but you're the one whose answer actually counts. You're the one who gets to say, what I'm feeling is valid, what I want matters, and I get to act on it. No one else can give you that permission. It has to come from you. It can look like saying what you actually think, making a choice without running it by everyone first, letting yourself want what you want. And it can feel unfamiliar. You've maybe asked for permission for so long that going ahead without asking others feels uncomfortable, like you're doing something wrong. But the discomfort isn't the problem. It just means it's new. This is what it feels like to give yourself permission instead of waiting for it. And I'll tell you why I stopped waiting for someone else to tell me to go ahead. I'm in my 60s now, and that has a way of making something very clear. There's less time ahead of me than there is behind me. So I asked myself the question that changed things. What's the worst that could happen if no one watched my videos? What if no one's interested? And the answer was, I'll still have been brave enough to begin. I'll have learned how to do this. I'll have used my voice. And I'll know I didn't let my fear or waiting for the people close to me to make the decision for me. After all, if not now, when? So, where do you begin? You don't start by changing everything at once. You begin with one thing, one choice you make without checking with anyone first. Something you can do today. Here are 3 ways to start. You don't have to do them all at once. Pick the one you could actually see yourself doing and start there. The first, say no to one thing you'd normally say yes to. You don't owe a long explanation. You don't have to make a case for it. A simple, I can't this time is enough. Then notice what comes up after. The urge to explain yourself, the pull to soften it. Just notice it and leave it there. The second thing, say the thing you've been holding back, how you've been feeling, the honest answer instead of the safe or easy one. It may feel awkward. That's okay. What matters is that you let yourself be heard. And the third, make one decision based only on what you want, not what's expected, not what's easiest for everyone else. Just what do I actually want here? And do that. Now, there may be some discomfort in having chosen what you actually want. It passes, and what stays is knowing you did it without asking for anyone's permission. None of these are easy to start, but they are possible, and possible is exactly where courage begins. Here's the reframe I want to leave you with. You don't need to stop feeling uncertain before you stop asking for permission. You just have to stop waiting for someone else's yes when yours is the one that counts. I used to worry that if I stopped being the one who always said yes, the people in my life wouldn't know how to respond to me. Here's what I've come to understand. The people who really care about you, they don't need the edited version of you. When you've been editing yourself for years and you finally stop, they will finally get to know who you actually are. And you put down the weight of being someone you're not. Courage at this stage of life isn't about not being afraid. For me, it's about being honest with myself. And that's when things start to shift. Now, let me leave you with one question. What would be different in your life, in your relationships, if your own answer mattered as much as everyone else's? Just one moment where you choose for yourself without asking for permission first. Everything I've been describing, the asking, the second guessing, the permission you've been waiting for from others, I want to show you what's on the other side of it. I call it the Follow Your Lighthouse Compass. 4 points that become yours again when you stop asking for permission from those around you and start giving it to yourself. The first point is clarity, because you can finally hear what you actually think before you start worrying how someone else will take it. The next point is courage, because every time you choose what's important to you without asking anyone first, the next time it gets a little easier. Third is purpose, because when your own answer is the one you trust, you stop living someone else's version of your life, and you remember what you actually want. And finally, the fourth compass point is grace. Grace is the kindness and the compassion you show yourself through this season of change. It's the patience to let things be uncertain without being hard on yourself. It's allowing for the days that don't go well and meeting yourself with more understanding. It's treating yourself the way you treat someone you care about. That's what's waiting. Clarity, courage, purpose, grace. Not some whole new life, the one that's actually yours. Remember, just keep turning towards your own light, because every small, steady step you take is already guiding you home. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Finish the sentence in the comments. I've been waiting for permission to. When you share it, another woman sees it and knows she's not the only one feeling this way. And if you'd like more conversations like this one, be sure to subscribe so the next one finds you. Till next time, take care, and I will see you soon.